Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Panda. This is an unscheduled live. I want to talk about DaVinci Resolve 16 and what problems I had to deal with for 13 hours with this software. Now, take this with a grain of salt. I was shooting my footage on the GoPro Hero 7 Black and 2.7K, and finds out that I don't think the software likes 2.7K footage from the GoPro. I did some testing and I came to my own conclusion that the 2.7 footage, which is a different resolution, uh, most people don't use it. You can resize it. It's optional. Uh, why is this not low timeline? Right. Okay. What we're gonna do here is boot up this timeline. So here are the issues that I've been having with DaVinci Resolve 16 for 13 hours. 1. When I was changing fronts as I was editing, it would crash just randomly. Wouldn't even give me a report crash. It just crashed. And this continued to happen for those 2 days. And I stood up all last night trying to figure out why that was happening. Okay, text message. Anyway, now here's another issue I'm having with. Apparently, it doesn't like the fact when it renders certain GoPro footage, it crashes, right? But when it renders and it goes almost halfway through and it crashes, it gives you a GPU error report now. Insane. So, and the software is getting laggy, slow, jittery for some reason. After this first update that I received from DaVinci or Blackmagic, actually, uh, the first time I actually installed it on my computer, it was running smoothly. Then that update, something happened. Now they have a third update that just offered to me. So here is my timeline, and as you can see, there's an inconsistency, a little bit of inconsistencies that I have to fix. That's because of DaVinci Resolve was being inconsistent. I couldn't add properly. It was lagging. It stalled. Even when it buffed, it rendered the whole scene and the whole entire uh, footage. It still laggy, buffed. I don't understand it. Why that happened? It did, and I wasn't very pleased with it. And I didn't like the outcome of my footage. Uh, Not the GoPro footage, just the way how I tried to mix and animate these up in sync in order based by the size and dimensions and everything. Everything did not sync up very well because I'm looking at the video and I'm like, oh wow. And then now the audio is a issue. Now I export this out and the audio sounds great on this. I want you guys to listen to the audio firsthand. I want you guys, hold on, let me make sure that you guys can listen to the audio. Let me make sure this is enabled. Yes, it is. Okay. I want you guys to listen. And oops, I got the speaker on. Let me mute this. Hold on. See, it's lagging. I press play and I press play already. The GoPro in the GoPro flat profile, so take that with a grain of salt. Now, when it comes down to audio, audio is important, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to say this to the GoPro community and the Panda Nation community. There is no alternative to the GoPro 3.5 adapter. You have to buy the GoPro adapter, and that is the reason is because GoPro has this chip where it would recognize other GoPro hardwares, and if it doesn't recognize the hardware, it's not going to function correctly. So it is best that you just buy the adapter. I'm just dissatisfied with the software now. And get the best results this way. Don't get me wrong, software is fun and heck of tons of fun to use. And yes, as you can see, I've been playing with the color tabs. But it's fun, but this is not the first experience. This is like my 4th video editing DaVinci, and my first 2 experiences were good, and my last 2 experiences have been bad. Let's say you have a lavalier microphone that you want to use, or a shotgun microphone that you want to use. It would come in handy for those situations because the audio from the shotgun microphone and the lavalier microphone would be better than the GoPro's on-built internal microphones. So here's the thing. You know how many times I rendered this whole damn timeline and it still jitters? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It would still jitter. But anyway, it also messed up the animation for this scene here, which is ISO 1600. I wasn't very pleased with that either. And I stood up all night trying to figure out what was the rendering issue, what was the ransom shutdowns when changing the fronts. So I had to come up with a strategy. So this was my strategy. Let me shorten my timeline. Okay, my strategy was to, and see how laggy it is? I'm sorry, I just did the same video. Well, I'm doing that same video again with Adobe Premiere. I'm gonna see how better, and I'm actually getting much more done with Adobe than DaVinci, because this lagging issue is a problem. Now, my RAM is efficient. I'm only using SSDs. I have a quad-core gaming system. I have 24 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, which is plenty for editing. And I have used Premiere my entire time using editing software. And there are times where Premiere also will lag and be a pain in the butt. But look at that. Now, a mountain. Yeah. But as you can see, this should have been rendered already. But it's not. And I cleaned it up. So before it was a little bit messy, but I cleaned it up. So what's the issue here? When I go to delivery, and normally this is how I export my files out. Title, video, MP4 for video for YouTube. Now resolution depends. Since it was a mix, because this happened with just GoPro footage alone too. But this was a mix, and I thought it wasn't going to happen, but it did happen anyway because of the GoPro footage. The reason why I say that is because the first time it crashed and failed, as you can see, as many times as failed in the rendering queue, you can see where when it got to the green ISO with the green first mountain here of footage and animations of text, it crashed. Somehow, someway, it passed that, then it crashed on the next mountain, then the next mountain, then passed back on the crash again on the first mountain of footage, which was very inconsistent. So normally, what I would do is I put this on. Normally, this is set to automatic. Normally, I would have it on best, and I have encoded on high. Normally, I would have use optimization for media, use rendering cache for the image, and I have to enable the flat pass, which is always on. I have force size to high quality and force and bear to high quality. Has always been how I process my videos for YouTube based on the resolution, the bitrate, the frame per second. So, and encoder, bypass, re-encoder when possible. I go to that. Let's do it. Watch this. We're gonna render this live so you guys can see what the freak is going on here. Now, keep in mind, yes, I did go to File, Project, Settings, and fix my settings before I started building and cutting and editing. So, yes, I did do that. But, no. Mr. DaVinci Resolve 16 decided, nope, I'm gonna crap on you, dude. Let me turn on the fan a little bit. So it doesn't because when it does render, it gets hot. And when okay. I like to turn my fan on manually. Where is it? Okay, there we go. So, guys, this is live. This is unscheduled. I'm just showing you and sharing my problems with DaVinci Resolve 16. This has been an ongoing issue since I downloaded it. Actually, it's been ongoing since the update. Sometime like 2 weeks ago, there was an update, and that's when I've been having these issues. When I first got it, I was happy with it. I really wanted to play and dived into it. I even actually learned how to mess with the nose and cut and frame. Especially, honestly, guys, I really like the color tab option, and it really gives you direction and what you need to focus on, what you need to add. And even though I know it's different from Premiere or Final Cut, but this has something familiar to Final Cut. This is kind of has a similarity to Final Cut. If you're a Final Cut fan, yeah, you'll be happy with this. I'm pretty sure. But right now, apparently this is not the only time this has happened. Apparently this has happened to a lot of people on the interwebs. Now, we're going to render this live. We're going to see what happens. Guys, if you guys want to support, put stuff in my tum-tum, yum tum-tum, please do so. PayPal Vimeo. I spent my time working on this damn thing for a long time. Okay, let me read the questions. I'm sorry. The DaVinci Resolve did not resolve the problem. GPU cards and the RAM may have minimum and new standards of the drivers could be an issue. Okay, I didn't update my driver because normally I do not technically always update my drivers. I always update my drivers every... Hold on. Why is the screen showing... That's weird. Oh, wow. I didn't see that coming. Okay. I'm sorry about that, guys. Holy snap. I am so sorry about that, guys. I turned my fan on, and then, okay, so it is actually at 33% now. Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go. We're about to hit the first video tower stack. And, maybe driver maybe updated because I don't normally update my drivers. I only update my drivers every 3 drivers because it's unnecessary because most of the new driver releases are for the new video cards. So I'm rocking a GTX 960. So, and I Apex play on this all the time. I play Doom on this all the time. I add Adobe Premiere all the time on this, and pretty damn good with Film Convert, mind you. I use Film Convert, and this is why if DaVinci Resolve can use some Film Convert Luxes, that would be pretty awesome. But yeah, so I worked on this the whole entire time, and for 13 hours last night, I did not go to bed. I just went to bed around like 1 o'clock because I had to get on the phone with the EEOC mediator and for this Porchlight, and you won't believe how Porchlight is using something I gave them as a weapon to put pressure on me. And I told you guys before, and I said this on Instagram, I told you Porchlight was going to attack unemployment. This is why I didn't want to file for unemployment. I knew exactly what they were doing because they are 501c3. They would do anything to get their bots out of trouble and make me look bad. And they tried to do that. And I'm pretty sure the attorney was aware that I had so many documents because she said it herself. He's reading from some documents. Yes, I have documents, I have video, I have everything, even backups of all the emails. So an email was sent out. If they failed to realize that, that's not my fault. An email was sent out. HR was notified. That's why HR kept asking and kept meeting up with me and wanted to talk. Cause yo, let's be honest, Porchlight, you try to use the donation thing as a weapon against me, and to backfire, and realize that nope, your dates are out of whack. So you guys was not prepared for this mediator meeting at all. It was actually March 19th, which was a Thursday, when I was assaulted. Main reason why I left Porchlight. The donation thing didn't happen until a week before that. So you're missing a whole full week there. When I came to work on the 19th, Roger put his hands on me for no apparent reason, trying to be a tough guy, policeman, and now you're trying to use a donation that you're not sure of. But anyway, you got it because obviously the exclusive director of the shelter of the Porchlight picked it up, and then you guys started making upset fit because how I handled that. What do you want me to give it to you guys? That's what you guys made that story up. So you're gonna use footage and you're gonna use my story against me? That sucks. That's how people here in the States treat other people. And then the funny thing is that one of the Porchlight employees said this is the first time she got wind of it. Really, there is IR incident reports written about Jim and the staff's behavior. You guys seen my videos. They act like they never actually received those emails, ladies and gentlemen. I got a full 25-30 minute video showing those emails. Insane. Literally insane. They are trying to use what I was told what to do. Be professional at my job. You're trying to use my professionalism against me and try to say I did things wrong. Now, and not only that, they tried to say what happened between me and John happened after he was terminated. No, it did not. Ladies and gentlemen, they tried to say it happened after October. Excuse me, this is all because of John. Since August 6th. Because I was nominated for Employee of the Month. He got mad and made up a story. And he admitted it to the police officer. It was a hope he loses his job. That's why I made it up. That's what he told the police officer on the camera thing. And then I told Porch like this in November and they disregarded. after they gave me a suspension, and I was really upset, and I'm still handed that legal. Matter of fact, why I'm showing you guys this? Oh, it's rendering. Oh my goodness, it is rendering. No way. No way. Please, if this guys, hold on one second. I'll show you that email in a second. But I got an email from the victim's district attorney's office in Madison, and I'm still going and fighting a case against John. So technically, yes, it is harassment because it started at the workplace. I didn't know John before then, so how did it start, Porchlight? It started because John didn't like the fact that like he had to study and being told how to use service point by me because he felt like he was a figure of authority and I wasn't. And that had something to do with racial tension. He didn't like it. And had also had something to do with my size, which he underestimated quite dearly. He was scared of Preston, but he wasn't scared of me. That's what does that say to you guys? Discriminatory, in my opinion. Very discriminatory. If this is rendering, I'm going to re-upload my video. Because something happened with the audio. I don't know what happened. In my one side, you can hear my voice, and the other side, you cannot. You hear the audio, which sounds kind of awesome. They never thought about that. But still, it just offsets how people actually really been listening to music quite some time. But anyway, yeah, but if this is rendering, oh my goodness, I swear. Guys, I got an email from the district attorney's office. I need to log in. Alright, let's do that. Let's log in. Are you serious? Where's my other email? Oh, are you kidding me? Alright. Don't worry, I'm using VPNs. Okay, this meeting happened today, right? Get out of here. Screw you. You screw me over. Where is... Oh, wow. So, I'm trying to show you guys this email so you guys get some, Go away. I said no. The heck is wrong with this damn thing? Where... Is it in my other email? Yes, it is. Okay, so just to give you guys some clarification here. You can see those legal cases just piling up. So this here is for John. Now, this is the lawyer trying to get... Alright, so Jeannie emailed me just to briefly explain to me that she's still sorry that I'm still going through this process with John, and that the court has delayed another Zoom conference call. So yes, there's been Zoom conference calls in the past. So, yeah. So just to let you guys financially know, this is financially costing me, and Porchlight believes that what John did happened after, which did not. This started because of Employee of the Month, and because I said no, because he wanted something personal of mine, and I said no, dude. I cannot support your habit. That's like me feeding a child cereal all the time and no nutritious vitamins, and that's all you want. You're demanding in something that I can't give you. And he got pissed off and started making and assuming and calling ICE and making threats, text messages. Everyone received it. And you know what the Porchlight staff said? She didn't recall any of this. This had to happen after. That is bull crap. You see what I'm talking about? Bull crap. Guys, let me show you. Oh, wow. This is gonna make you laugh and say, yo, dude, why don't you just not go do the EEOC and just sue them? I am gonna sue them after the EEOC now. They pushed my buttons today. Well, I am suing them now because they want me to. This is what the mediator wants me to come to some type of conclusion. What do I want from this? Lost wages, emotional damages. That's right. Oops. Yes, they should pay for it. So, March 27th, right? March 16th. This is where this guy put his hands. So I made the video about it. It showed all of it. There's more of that, but just look at the title. Discrimination in the workplace. There's tons of it. Now, this is March 13th. This is where I told my boss that this is why I'm preparing to leave, and that's why I'm resigning and leaving in May. Now, he got the memo a long time ago. Mind you that. That memo was sent to him and everyone else in a CC email. And Kim Sutter decided to claim that she never got that email. Yes, you did. Everyone got that email. Because everyone asked me why was I leaving. I said, honestly, this is an untoxic environment. It was. It was an unsettled environment. None of my issues got addressed. When Jim threatened me in January, you guys refused to address it. Now the lawyer for Porchlight says that they addressed my issues. No, they did not. Not at the corner of good, not timing to their policy. It states in their policy they had 30 days to respond to any allegations of any harassment, discrimination, sexual assault, and any such thing. It's in their own policy. I even demonstrate that in the video, in all these videos. So, you tell me what your policy says, Porchlight. I remember it by heart. So if you want me to challenge me on that, in which they tried to in the mediation meeting, because I had to speak first, and when I was asked a question about certain events, it led to, oh my goodness, it finished. Look at that. I'm going to check this video out. Because if this is better than the first upload, then I'm re-uploading it, guys. I'm sorry. I don't care about it. I lost the 35 views. I just got to re-upload a nice clean video. But anyway. But as I was explaining to you guys before, these are the troubles I have to go through, the legal complications. People are trying to use my good will and my good faith against me. This is why they delayed this whole time. Trying to find anything they can put their hands on that can get me in trouble. And they, like I said, they threatened me by saying unemployment. And they just recently seen that recently show up too. And that's why they recently brung this up. I'm like, oh, so you're going to threaten me by taking my unemployment away? I just filed for it. I just received approval and now this is why it's on hold? Wow, you guys are douchebags. Literally. You know you can't do that under the Freedom Cares Act after COVID-19. That is part of the new bill. Sorry. I wanted to burn them with that one. And I hope they understand that one because I had to tell the mediator like I don't think that's gonna fly in any courtroom. You're gonna try to take my unemployment under the COVID-19 Cash Free Act bill? Are you serious? Literally, you kidding me? You're gonna take the $600 that the government is going to give me? Oh wow! I want to see you do that because remember the EEOC also said that I don't think they can do that under the CARES Act, and I said I don't think they can either. This is why I wanted to see how far they go, and that's how far they're willing to go, ladies and gentlemen. They're willing as far as to turn this situation even worse for me when they created this problem. John and the staff members. They are racist black people in there against other black, white, and Hispanic. They play favoritism. It's disgusting. It is repellent to have Porchlight sit here and try to say I am in the wrong and then try to say I stole a donation. First and foremost, that information that you were given, lawyer Chung, honestly, that information was mine because that was sent through an email, through text messages. You're reading text messages that I'm recalling. So, yes, I have those text messages when I reply back and say, yes, I have all text messages regards to that donation. And mind you, that donation was given by a YouTube fan. So be grateful that someone from my audience tried to reach out and help people in need. How ungrateful. You want more? They want more. Porchlight wants more. Okay, this process, wow, I am surprised. Because normally when I have this bypass, oh my goodness, this has, oh, if this, guys, we gotta, I'm sorry, but I have to view this because I don't think the first video was good. I don't think it was good. I don't think it was good. I guess we can view it together. This is Panda, the Panda photographer. You know me as Kiki Alexander Bailey. I'm a self-taught photographer and videographer. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old, off and on, but I've been doing this professionally for the last 7 years. And I want to give you guys my GoPro Hero 7 Black settings. Now, you can apply this to the GoPro Hero 8 and 9. By the way, I don't care what no one says. I like my little Tron text theme with the retro colors. I love it. I love it. I'm just making sure you guys are aware that I'm not gonna ever get rid of that because that reminds me of Tron, and I'm a big fan of that movie, that series. Keep in mind, those sensors have better sensors. I think it was a cool concept. So it may vary. So take this video with a grain of salt. Now, I'm providing this video because I want to contribute my point of view on how I shoot in low light to a GoPro community. To the Panda Nation, to the GoPro Nation, I'd like to say welcome. Please do subscribe, like, and share. Guys, you make a big difference if you hit that thumbs button up. And that's true. You make a big difference if you share it and you let the AI know that, yo, I want more Panda content. Seriously. Stop playing, YouTube. Stop filtering him. Share the content and make sure that you hit the notification icon so you can get notifications when you see live streams and new uploads. But if you want to support the channel financially, there is a PayPal and a Vimeo. It really will help me out through these times. It really be appreciated. But I really wanted to share my GoPro settings. Now, most cases I'm shooting in 2.7. I just want to see the animations. That's all I want to see because in a POV style, which is why. Now, there's a reason behind that, but I do change my 4K because, in my opinion, the content that I provide on YouTube channel, most people are watching. I think this one looks better than the first one because it actually forced the highest quality. I shoot in 2.7K, which is a nice quality of 1080p quality. But like I said, everyone, when I'm shooting 60 frames a second, yeah, this one looks real better. Is at 120 per second. Now, if I'm shooting in 30 frames a second, my shutter speed is at 160 per second. Now, stabilization is absolutely on at all times. Pro Tune is on, but when it comes down to my ISO, now this may vary based on your taste, so take this with a grain of salt. I lock in my ISO manually. I control everything manually in my GoPro. Now, just to give you guys some idea, some people may have a different point of view how they shoot low light, and the reason why I lock in ISO because I do not want flicker happening within. This is not a vlog. If I'm going to capture B-roll for like a film or for a commercial, I don't want the flickering. Okay, I don't care if that was for a vlog or something. So yeah, I would have my ISO from ISO 400 and between 400 and 1600 normally on a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. But if GoPro had that ISO range, which they kind of do, 400 to 1600, yeah, if you want to log with the GoPro, you can. But mind you, I notice a little flicker based on the light. There's a reason. If you want best results, you want great results, you want people to drive to your content, you want to actually influence people to do things manually because those. Yes, I emphasize to do things manually because I try to make shortcuts and try to do everything auto. Some people do auto, and I don't understand what is their learning curve behind auto. Honestly, I know it's very subjective. I'm not supposed to be very subjective, and I am very subjective. But auto doesn't teaches you. It gives you a point reference, but it's not an accurate point reference because when you do things manually, when you do photography or shooting video, you have a different take because maybe the camera says, I want to shoot at this ISO, but you want to shoot at a different ISO. Maybe you can maintain those blacks in the video or maintain detail in the photograph, but all the best results. Now, when it comes down to my ISO, my minimum will be locked and my base ISO for low light is 800. Now, I will lock the max ISO at 800. It depends if that lighting situation is continuous. Just to give you guys some clarification, I like shooting at 2.7K, but DaVinci Resolve doesn't like it, so I have to suffer. Either stick with 1080p or 4K. The reason why I don't like shooting 4K is because honestly, 2.7K gives me flexibility to shoot in low light and in daylight. And even though I know 4K does that, but I also the file sizes. Listen, I just got a terabyte drive. Don't eat up my freaking terabyte. But let's say if I'm logging, my ISO would be 800 at the minimum and max ISO 1600. There are some cases where I will go to ISO 3200 and lock 3200 in, but that's not the case in most scenarios in low light. But when it comes down to the white balance, that will also vary. That's very subjective to white balance. Just to give you guys a point of reference, because I noticed something last night. I I was at the stadium, and I was like, let me pump my Kelvin temperature down to 3800. I was trying to get it to 3800. I couldn't really get it to that point. I got it to like towards 35. And it was a little bit too cool at some points and some spots. So I just left it at 4000. And I think for watching the footage, You'll see at Providence Park. Just look at the text from the light bulbs. Just carefully watch at ISO 800, 1600, 3200, and just I pause it for you guys. Low light, I like to shoot between 400, 4000 Kelvin and 4500 Kelvin. Daytime, I like to shoot between 5000 and 6000 Kelvin. Now, take that with a grain of salt. When I'm using ND filters during the day, motion blur plays a factor, and you get that nice blur when you're using correct ND filters. That is called the 180-degree rule, but that's another topic. But what? So people are gonna be like, "Oh wow, so 180-degree rule." So you're gonna emphasize that in every video now? I'm kind of gonna because I like how it differentiates from not shooting with it and not properly improperly shooting with the ND filter when properly shooting with the ND filter. You can see the changes and effects in the motion in your footage. If you slow it down 0.25 and you speed it up just a little bit, you definitely can see the motion. Why using the ND filter properly to expose everything, even if things in the sky, especially with the sky. This is why I like using ND filters for video. At first, I thought taking shortcuts would double down your shutter speed would make a difference, but you also are crushing other things when you do that. When you are crushing other aspects of your footage or your photos to recover for overexposing, when you can probably just use an ND filter and use the proper shutter speed, correct shutter speed, to get that nice motion that you need. I just don't understand. And I know people are on a budget, but trust me, in due time, it's gonna come to you. You're gonna be like, wow, what a difference. Panda was right. They should make a cereal after you. No. I don't want kids dying. Listen, sugar, no. No cereal. Every time I think about cereal, most of the time I think about sugar. I went to go buy some special K from the market 4 weeks ago. I'm still going through that because it's full of sugar. Because it's not supposed to have any sugar. It's supposed to be a natural substance, and I taste sugar. I taste sweetness within that damn thing, and it's disgusting. It's like, no, I want to help these, and that's what throws off my body chemistry sometimes. Sugar. This is why I don't eat candy, guys. I try not to eat as much sweets. My sharpness is always on low. I like potato chips. I like French fries. I like tofu. I made the bomb tofu the other day. Oh, someone was jealous in the kitchen the other day. She was like, "Oh my god, that looks so good." I had the tofu sliced up. Now you go to a real Chinese Szechuan restaurant and you ask for Szechuan tofu Szechuan, and you get the spice, the green relish, and the Szechuan pepper on top of the tofu. But the tofu is sliced in one slicer tray when you can just each and every person can pick their piece exactly the way it should be served. You don't break up tofu. The only time you do that is when you make Japanese sushi or miso. You break it up in cubes, slices. That's the proper way. You don't crush it up in your hands. I see this video with Jamie Oliver making stir-fried tofu. He put jam in stir-fried tofu and he crushed up the tofu. And I was like, I have nothing to say. I am done with watching these cooking television shows, chefs fucking up Chinese tradition or an Asian tradition. I'm sorry for the language, but that's not no. It's like the same thing with sushi, guys. Like I'm telling you, the wasabi that you're trying in American Japanese restaurants, if it's not a 4 or 5 star restaurant, you're not getting authentic wasabi. Okay, from the root. It is much bitter than what you're getting when you order sushi. And when you eat sushi, and trust me, don't rub chopsticks. Don't do that. Don't. And by the way, do not if you go to like a five-star Japanese restaurant, do not take your sashimi and re-dunk it in soy sauce. Wrong. You don't do that. Sushi chefs do not like it. Trust me, they don't. It's disrespectful. They already put soy sauce. First and foremost, they put the wasabi out in your ugly. It's based wasabi in the middle, sashimi on top, and then dab it the soy sauce on top, and you eat it as is with your fingers or with your chopsticks if you prefer not to get your fingers dirty. But I want to provide sharpness in the post, and if you guys don't understand why that is, it's because sometimes GoPros like to oversharp. You see that right there? That animation right here in ISO 1600. What happened? Something's going on there. I need to fix it. I don't like it. I want this video to be so perfect. I know, guys, I'm asking for too much for myself. I know. But that's the dedication that I'm trying to give myself, and the motivation to keep pushing myself forward to make it better. Because if I get lazy not fixing it, that doesn't motivate me at all. That just makes me like not learn anything. I'd rather just learn from it. Like, I gotta fix it, so I can teach you guys later on. Hey, I made this mistake with this, and I fixed this in DaVinci Resolve, so you guys have a better understanding. Like, I spent 13 hours trying to figure this out, and I spent most of my day today up, and I went to bed only for like an hour and a half, and I'm hungry. I don't know what to eat. And yeah, and I'm dealing with all this lawyer stuff, and money's going towards this and that. I can't believe financially. I need free representation. I really do need. I need to save my money. Jeez, man, it makes me not want to go out and buy the food that I need to require to keep a good substance in my body. Because guess what, guys? I've been following this very strange routine. I've been going to bed like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening now, waking up at like 2 at night. That's not how I want my day. Yeah, but this animation gotta be fixed. Okay, so sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what is going on with DaVinci Resolve, but you can see right here how many times it failed before it processed. Look at that. Failed, failed, failed. You can see it on the corner in the rendering queue. Fail. And yes, I even tried. If you press Control A or Command A on a Mac, right, to highlight your timeline or select everything in your timeline, then Control C or Command C on your Mac and Control C on your PC, you're going to copy. Then what you're going to do, the next step is press Shift and 1 to start a new timeline. Let me show you how that works. I'm going to press Command and A or Shift Control and A. Lagness. And then now I'm going to Control and copy, right? Like I said, Command and C or Control and C on your PC. Now, Shift and 1, start a new timeline by starting a new project. Open up a new project. Don't save that. We're going to do test, render. Oops. Create. Once this is done, we're going to go into the corner, right hand corner with the little gear icon is. This says project settings. We're going to go in there and we're going to set it up to whatever bit frame rate that you choose to. So in this scenario, I wanted to set it at 29.97. So I'm going to input that in. And make sure that this is also HD 1080p 29.7. dual link, I leave that alone. I leave the video bit depth at 10 bit, modern scaling, linear. And normally, I use automatic cache transitions into user mode and automatic cache composition and user mode. So all these 4 boxes here are checked, but I bring down my enable background cache down to 1 second. And that's what I do, and then I save that. And now I can paste the timeline into the new timeline. Give it 1 second. Like I said. Oops. Okay. What's going on here? I messed up. I kept clicking the buttons. I keep forgetting that my number pads are also my transitions in OBS. I keep forgetting, guys. I am so sorry. I feel like a klutz. Oh, I'm so sorry. What I'm gonna do is disable that lock pad. That's what I'm gonna do. Now, not sure what it's doing now, but I'm trying to paste. But like I said, now DaVinci seems to be locked up on something. Don't know what it is locked up on. And see, this is the problem. I never had this issue before. I never did with DaVinci Resolve. I'm not quite understanding why I'm having these issues now. Maybe I need to update it, but I wanted to show you how I do this when I ran into this problem, because this is another way that some people have said it has worked for them, and some people say it has not worked for them. But this is another way, and it seems like most likely desktops are more prominent to having this problem fixed when doing this conversion. Come on. What's it doing? It's not pasting my old timeline. Hello? It did copy the old timeline. Okay, what we need to do is open the timeline again. They make you do all this crap. Test 2. Actually, you know, this is pain in the ass with DaVinci. Such a pain in the ass. But I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm gonna probably use more Premiere again. I have so many transitions and so many other things I want to do with Premiere. I know it's fun. DaVinci Resolve is fun to use. It is great, but in reality, it's just a pain. It's causing me all these headaches, all these crashes, all these issues. For what? It doesn't necessarily have to be this way. My system's way past its, you know, its specs is way. It can add easy 1080p YouTube content with ease without even breaking a sweat. Okay. We're gonna Control or Command A. Come on, copy the timeline. Such a lag. It's like, oh, let me think about it. See? It's doing something else now. I pressed something else and it's doing... Alright. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. Shift 1. Start a new time. Don't save it. Test 3. Test 3. See, I'm pressing numbers again. It's only supposed to... Hey, OBS, you're supposed to only be drawn to the key lock area, not the keypad. What is going on with you? Okay, and now paste that. Oh, wait. Let me fix this. 29.97. Ooh, I have to use the keypad. Sorry, guys. What is going on? This is why I can't really do videos like this. Alright, save that. What's going on? Are you guys looking? Okay, I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see what I'm seeing without all the other crap in the way. Alright. Now I'm gonna try to... Hello? There we go. We copy and paste the timeline. What a delay. So yeah, so now we copy and paste the my timeline into a new timeline. But mind you, like I said, always go when you do this technique or this settings, always go to the project settings in the right hand icon corner, and always change it based on your video output of your frames per second. And this is how I always do it. This is how the professionals always do it. This is how you always should do it. This is how it should be always done. But yeah. And you can see a mountain full of video clips and transitions on top of each other. Like a sandwich, an OG. But yeah, guys. If you want to support the channel, this is what I've been up to the last 16 hours. 17 hours trying to figure this out. And now I figured it out, and it figures out GoPro doesn't like 2.7K footage, so I'm gonna have to compromise here. And like I said before, like I really believe that you know, content on YouTube, most people watch it in 1080p anyway. It's great to watch it in 4K, but like, you know, based on traffic and your Wi-Fi and your cellular service and the 5G network, which is to me still in its infancy, in my opinion. It's still in development because you know, even in Asia, 5G is still in its infancy. It's been brought to our attention for a while now. It's been a network system for at least 2 years, but it still has some development. So United States has a lot to go when it comes down to the 5G network, because yeah. And watch, they're gonna bring out a 5G LTE network next. So it's to get you to spend more money, to have them to come to your service like T-Mobile is doing that with merged with Sprint. But anyway, guys, I wanted to show you this, and yeah. And if you guys want to know my RAM, as I said, I'm running Kingston HyperX. Let me show you this. Let me show you my RAM. Boom. You see that? Kingston HyperX, 20 gigabytes of DDR4. Terabyte, all SSDs. That's all I'm using. I'm going to turn this fan down now. I don't need fan background now. But I only using SSDs, and that's all I recommend. But you see how this transition, it pops up there, but then it shows up like, I don't get that. maybe what I need to do is do fine cuts, where you can go into a DaVinci Resolve, do fine cuts. You see how you do fine cuts? Where you're just like, okay, let me cut this. And you see where, like in this area, I need to even this out. This needs to be even out. So there are some mistakes that I did, or I guess I tried to fix those mistakes, and the lag in the DaVinci Resolve caused it not to register my movement, I bet, or my stroke, or my. But yeah, I guess. But yeah, see, we split that. Let's see here. Yeah, you can do fine cuts. But yeah, normally I would just expand this like Butterworks. There's many ways how to you can add in and out of media. So basically, DaVinci Resolve tells you go from left to right. So import your media, do your cuts, do your ads. Make sure if you need to change anything within those ads, the inspector is there to make those changes, and everything else that you do. So if you apply to Lux, the inspector will always be there. If you want to apply and go into the media library, you can do that at the same time, or the index if you need to, or a music library if you have one, or if they upload one. If you need to get into the mixer, you can get into the mixer. If you want to see the mixer, you don't have to see the mixer, but that's just a choice. So yeah, and you can lay this out the way you want to lay this out. But normally I will lay out like something like this, so I can see what I'm doing in the library. Just a little smaller. Boom. And then in Fusion, you can play with, added texts. This is where I ran into problems with text and when it crashed. And also in editing, I ran into the same problems with editing. So let's say I go into the library. Okay. I go to text. Let's see what happens when I apply it. Oh wow. Wow. Okay, we need to shorten this up a little bit. I'm gonna paste this here. I'm going to demonstrate and see if it crashes when I'm changing the text. And this is another stupid thing DaVinci Resolve. Why don't we have the flexibility to actually change the text with that scored wheel? If we already in the text and you can pick this individually, that's tedious. I believe that's tedious. You can't score with your mouse, so you gotta go one by one. That is so tedious. I swear to you. I don't understand that. Like, that, they need to fix that. They need to improve on that. Like, I understand that we should know what kind of texts that we need to be using, but sometimes we also change our minds. And it happens quite a bit. And I believe that they should make this much easier to see instead of doing all this, looking for a text. Actually, we can't even see the text because what are we titled in? Okay. So, let me just move this over. Let me position it here so you guys can see I'm on a Fusion page. And then sometimes it would just crash. Test text number 1 test subject. Okay, you can do that. All right. And then when I start playing with colors, let's see. Ooh. Yeah, that blackout. I'm not understanding what that blackout's about. You see the blackout? What happens sometimes? I don't understand that. Why is it blackout? But I also want to see more options in when it comes down to the text, like giving it like a shadow would be nice. There's some effects here that do have that, but like I said, you have to put in the work in order to get it. But it's easy to find it because it's right here. See that blackout right there? I don't like that blackout. See another blackout. But let's pick something more. So last time it crashed, I was using, I believe it was it dramatic? It was cinematic, dramatic. It was also superhero when it crashed the first time. So when I wanted to change the text, this is stupid. This is tedious. DaVinci Resolve, and I hope you're aware of this. But this is why they have their little gadgets and gizmos that work properly with DaVinci Resolve. But for a PC user, for a Mac user, you're just gonna have to deal with it or spend the money on the hardware in order to get it to work the way you want it. But it'd be nice if we can scroll down still and see. But see, that's a bomb text. See, I just downloaded this text too. I'm glad that I downloaded this text because I love this text. But as I was explaining before, as I tried to change the text, watch. The panda photographer. Wow, that's a. See, my name is too big. But that's okay because I'm the only panda. And you can literally come into here and play with it. And this is where it starts crashing when I start playing with it. See it in blacking out. What's that blackout for? I can't see the transition now. These are the problems that I'm running into with DaVinci Resolve. Love that gold. See, if you guys want to know that gold color, there's a cheat chart right here. Pause the screen. Alright, so here it is. And then I start going in here and playing around with, just more text. Let's just play around with the text. Wow! What is that? Talking about a gold chain full of bling bling. The turtle text. Wow, that is crazy. Yo, you see what other kind of cool text? I downloaded such cool, like a whole bunch of like really awesome text. Let's go down to the bottom page. I like to start from the bottom. And I gotta get used to reading. Still get used to reading. I gotta have it still reading from right to left because in Japan I read from right to left, and I keep doing that a lot, even in books. Because someone gave me a book called 1981 for my birthday, and I got a habit of reading from right to left, and that's a habit I need to get rid of. I don't need to get rid of. I need to. I need to read the books correctly instead of backwards. Got an issue with like reading it. Okay. Oh, it crashed. See? See? Like I said, it crashed. You guys saw it here first. Now the problem report comes up. Wow. You guys have seen it. It crashed. I can't believe this. Now you understand what I had to deal with last night, guys, and all through yesterday. Can you guys please be so kindly? Do you guys want to buy me some ramen? Please. The Remio. Yum yum yum. And some sake. Yum yum yum. But yeah, you guys seen it first. Crashed on me. There's something I can do and to fix it. But I actually wanted to change this actually. I took that with the Canon, right? So let's go into my Canon folder. Yeah, I've been organizing my folders to make sure I keep a tab on the things that I need to keep a tab on. Let's go here. Oh no, I wanted this. There we go. Isn't that a beautiful shot of like the overlook looking into downtown Portland? The 405 is right there. What a beautiful sight. I have to say, I had no intentions of this photo being so elegant and beautiful with the blue transitions in the sky, but darn it, I did a good brushing job on it. Yes, I brushed and I tweaked and I perfect. And I also add sharpness, but I didn't add softness on top of it where I brushed in the trees. That softness. So it gives that real effect of a real life tree that you actually see in real time. And I try to emphasize that. Like, oh, that looks like a tree that actually looks real to touch, you know? I try to. I think things look too sharp. HDRs, don't get me wrong, this is an HDR, but not everything in the photo should be looking HDR like. Yes, the brush, the trees and the bushes do look HDR, but as I said, I brushed it with a little bit of softness. So it gives that effect of that real tree look, you know. So soft and then like the sharpness and then yeah, I think it worked out great. But if you guys like the content, please subscribe. Please make sure that you do support the channel. And yes, this is reality. Every day there's something I have to do. It's not a day goes by where I can't get this thing to work properly. But with that said, DaVinci Resolve crashes quite a bit, but we're gonna try to put this up again, and I will see you guys in the next video. You guys have been so kind, been patient for an hour and 15 minutes. You guys been patient. That's amazing.